nothing about picking locks. Nothing to plunder.
There's another of those scummy beasts. One less monster around. Are you mad? Get out of here. It's too dangerous in these vaults for a would-be adventurer. But say, don't I know you? Of course, you bastard. Don't think that I could have forgotten how you betrayed us in the new camp. You drained our mound of ore of all magic power, and then simply disappeared. What exactly did you think you were doing?
It was necessary. Without the power of the ore, I could never have defeated the Sleeper.
What sort of drivel is that? Sleeper? Defeated? Do you have the slightest idea what you have done? You have confused the structure of magic so much that it could be heard back in Khorinis. Count yourself lucky that the barrier simply collapsed one day.
What are you complaining about? It all worked out all right.
Mind your tongue. What the blazes do you want here anyway?
I came here with Lars.
Lares? Really? Where is he?
I'm alone. Lars went back to the city.
What? And he sent you to us alone? What was he thinking?
I brought your ornament.
What in all the world is that supposed to mean? Who gave you that? Don't tell me that Lars simply handed it over to you.
Come off it now. I brought it to you. You do want it, don't you?
Certainly, but it disturbs me that you have your hand in the game once again.
Why are you making such a big deal about that old business with the ore mound? After all, I already worked for you back then, and you can't say that I was unreliable.
And what did it ultimately get me? Just don't think that I trust you.
I want to join the Ring of Water.
What? How do you know about that? Who? Lars? I will kill him. He has broken our first rule. Speak to no one about the Ring of Water. I don't know what I should say. I only trust you where I can keep an eye on you.
It was Vatras who told me about the ring.
What? Vatras? Wonderful. Of all the water mages on the island, you run into the one who doesn't know you. I'm warning you, don't do anything stupid this time.
I'll make an effort. What are you doing down here?
These halls conceal ancient secrets, mysterious secrets. The inscriptions and murals indicate a very ancient culture. Everything you can see here is written in a language completely unknown to us. We are only just beginning to learn it and grasp its meaning.
Why is this ornament so important to you?
It is the key to a portal. I shall not tell you more. Since there's no way of stopping you from keeping the other mages from doing their work, you might as well take a message from me to one of them. Tell Riordian that I wish to see him here. He's in the rear part of the vault. You will find him there.
What are you doing?
I'm studying the culture of the ancient people. Based on the inscriptions, they lived long before our time. I don't know exactly when they erected these halls, but their civilization was highly developed. They built a city on the other side of the mountains, and a temple for Adonos.
A lost city on the island of Khorinis?
Yes. Until now, we lived in the belief that we knew the whole island. We assumed that the entire northeast of the island was one enormous mountain range. But we were wrong. Behind these mountains lies a valley. The city of the ancient people was located there. I would only too gladly see the buildings of the city, but they have probably fallen to dust long ago.
Sachiras wants to see you.
Has he gotten further with his investigation? Then I will go to him immediately. If you want to learn more about this complex, talk to Nefarious. You'll find him farther back in these vaults.
Wait a minute. Vatras gave me this amulet of the searching will-o'-the-wisp.
Ah, a rare artifact. You can use it to train the will-o'-the-wisp. Do you know that?
Can you help me with that?
Gladly. I've worked with this sort of magic for a long time.
How old do you think this place is?
Well, I still can't say exactly, but it must be several hundred years old.
Show me how to train my will-o'-the-wisp.
What should your will-o'-the-wisp search for?
Found out anything new?
It has been confirmed. The ancient culture did indeed believe in Adonos.
Where did you pick that up, then? Do you really believe that? But he knew that all along. May I bother you for a moment?
It's you. I never thought I'd see your face again. It's very brave of you to show up here. There was a time we would have skinned you alive. You can be glad that was a few weeks ago, and we've all calmed down.
What are you doing here?
My task is to find out more about the guardians of the temple. That is a tough nut, let me tell you. These stone sentinels have a characteristic that is utterly foreign to me. One moment they're standing around completely lifeless, and the next they're attacking you like they're possessed. I still haven't been able to determine their driving power, but one thing is sure, it is of magical origin.
Tell me more about these stone sentinels.
I can't tell you much so far. Unfortunately, we have had to destroy them. Now, they aren't dangerous. When we came here, they attacked us. We could only defeat them with our combined power, and I'm afraid there are even more waiting for us behind the portal. There must be a way to banish their driving force, so that they remain nothing more than statues.
Can you sell me some equipment?
Why not? If I remember correctly, we've already done business. Tell me what you need.
Nobody. Busy?
These vaults are one big mystery for me. It's hard to imagine that no one else found them before now. We were able to uncover the entrance without difficulty. People are so occupied with their daily routine that no one looked more closely at this structure. I have no other explanation for it.
What is your task here?
I'm trying to find out where this round portal leads. Besides that, I help Nefarious look for the missing ornament. It is certain that this portal leads to another part of the island that we do not yet know. I can't remember ever having heard or read about that.
You really want to go through the portal?
Of course. Assuming we find that missing ornament, that is. I admit, it is a somewhat risky business, but we must absolutely find out what it has to do with these constant earthquakes.
What do you know about the earthquakes?
Something on the other side is causing them. The source is probably also causing the stone sentinels to awaken. But that isn't my job. Satyrus and Kronos can tell you more about that.
What do you think you will find over there?
I'm really not sure. I suspect that on the other side there will be a structure similar to this one, and a counterpart to this portal. Everything else we shall see when we get there.
What is the fastest way back to the city?
I recommend you go back the same way you came. But you could also... No, that would be too dangerous.
Out with it.
Well, the builders of these halls had their own method of traveling. As far as we can tell, they could teleport.
That's nothing special.
The teleporter stones that we found here in Khorinis are special indeed. It seems as though the teleporter stone here in these halls may lead to the harbor city. However, none of us had the courage to try it.
Where's this teleporter stone?
There is a door in the basin room. I have locked it up behind there.
What if I were to try to use it?
No idea. We know too little about it. It is possible you wouldn't survive.
Give me the key. I want to take a look at this thing.
Really? But I take no responsibility for it.
Give it here.
If you say so, here it is.
Where are the other teleporter stones?
So far, we've only found one other somewhere in the middle of Khorinis, near the Dead Harpy Tavern.
Can you teach me anything about magic?
Once we're over there, I'll be at your disposal.
Hey, you! Everything all right?
It's very brave of you to just walk in here.
What are you doing here?
I'm studying the language of the builders. The language is the key to understanding the ancient people. Each one of us must learn it, or this expedition will be over before it even begins. The builders use stone tablets to pass on their knowledge. Unfortunately, many of them are broken, or were stolen long ago.
What's on these stone tablets, then?
They contain the collected knowledge of the ancient people. Some of them increase knowledge of combat and magic by magical means. For someone who can read the tablets, they are a real treasure.
Can you teach me to read the language?
Well, why not? I'll gladly pass on my knowledge to you.
Teach me that language.
We'll start with something easy. To begin with, I can teach you the language of the peasants. As a rule, texts written in the language of the peasants deal with worldly matters such as work, love, or obtaining food. It was the common language of the city. You will be able to understand most of the text found here if you know it. Go and test your new knowledge. You will see that the scriptures of the builders are no longer an unsolvable mystery for you.
Hey, you! How's it going?
What are you doing here? This is certainly a surprise. I thought you had been killed.
Almost.
There was quite a fuss about you, you know that? I hardly recognized Satyrus. He was so beside himself about that business back then.
What sort of portal is that?
We suspect that it leads to the Lost Valley, where the ancient culture must have had their city. But the stone behind the portal is made of massive rock, yards thick. Also, there are no signs of teleportation magic. Very mysterious.
Do you know how to activate it?
One of the missing ornaments seems to be a sort of magical key. We'll need it to get any further. It has to fit exactly into the ring-shaped hollow next to the portal.
I brought a part of the ornament.
Really? That's terrific.
Do you have any idea where the other parts are?
According to the ancient inscriptions, it was broken into 4 pieces, and it looks as though the parts are still to be found on the island. With Merdarian's help, I have translated some of the inscriptions. There are hints as to where the remaining pieces are. Here, I've marked some of the places on this map. Look around there. You should pay attention to old structures. They might be somewhat deteriorated and no longer clearly recognizable. It could be almost anything: a large rock, a stone circle, a mausoleum, or something similar. But what am I saying? You'll find it. Well, good luck.
Why was the ornament broken?
Whoever did it wanted to prevent the portal from ever being opened again. The longer I stare at the inscriptions, the more I realize that the priests of the ancient culture really were no fools. There was a good reason that they made the region back there inaccessible. We don't know what awaits us there, but it certainly isn't anything good.
About the missing ornaments.
Yes?
How many were there again?
There are 4 in all. You should find the others where I have marked the map.
Hey! I am supposed to find the lost parts of the ornament for Nefarious.
What? That's unbelievable. You're involved again?
Don't worry, I'll bring the things here.
How do you know at least what you're looking for?
Nefarious gave me this map.
Show me. It is very dangerous in the big forest. You should not go alone. Look for someone to accompany you in Khorinis. I do not want you eaten by monsters, and the ornament with you. Here is your map back.
What sort of strange earthquakes are those?
That is one of the puzzles I am trying to solve. The structure of magic is being disturbed somewhere behind these mountains. Quite obviously, someone is trying with all of his might to break a powerful magic. I fear it will not be long before the entire island is plagued by these tremors.
Can you teach me anything about magic?
So that you can once again interfere with the magical structure? No, I have no time for such games.
Hey, you! Show me your wares.
Go away, don't tell me that. I don't believe that. That's not what my husband thinks. Don't tell this to anyone. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes.
Nothing there. What's up?
It's been a long time since we've seen a stranger on our land who didn't want to skin us. I hope I'm not wrong about you. I'm Akil, and the strange bird over there is my brother, Anim.
How's the field work going?
Great, if those miserable field raiders weren't constantly destroying our harvest.
Why don't you do anything about the field raiders?
You're joking. Since I've been on this farm, I've killed so many of the beasts that I've lost count. But alas, new ones keep coming.
Hey, you! Who are you?
My name is Anim. I'm one of the field hands. And the half-pint over there is my brother Akil. We've been working here on the farm for Akil for several years.
How's the field work going?
Do you want to help? There's another hoe back there. Grab it and then head for the field. You just have to make sure that the field raiders don't surprise you. They'll tear your arm right off with one bite.
Why don't you do anything about the field raiders?
I've killed more of them than I can count. The only problem is they keep coming back.
Your brother told me the same.
What? That loafer? He always disappears just as soon as the beasts come onto our land. He shouldn't be talking such nonsense.
Your brother tells a similar story.
Ah, what exactly does he say?
That he has also done away with plenty of field raiders.
What? That loser can't even find his way home by himself. Tell him he shouldn't brag like that.
Hey, you! Your brother thinks you're a braggart.
What? He's actually got the nerve to say that? He'd better watch out or I'll teach him a lesson. Go and tell him that.
Enem is a bit irritated about this thing.
He shouldn't puff himself up so much, else I'll tear his head off. Tell him that.
Hey! I think the two of you should just relax.
The bastard didn't give in, am I right? I'll tear out his guts. Tell him that.
Why don't you tell him yourself?
I'll do that.
Thanks for the gold, you hero. I think I'd better take this weapon. Wait a minute. Haven't you done enough damage? I think you should go now.
Oh, my head. Hey, do you want to cause even more trouble? I think it would be better if you left now.
Onar's rebellion will have serious consequences. I prefer to keep out of it.
Ran like rabbits. I was completely alone.
Same old thing all over again.
Everything all right?
Why haven't I heard about
As
this
soon as
before?
anyone says anything wrong around here, the dance starts. So watch your step or there'll be a slaughter.
That's totally
Will you join the fight?
I'm not just gonna stand here when the ruckus starts, but I'm not gonna push it either.
Can't go on like this forever.
Is there a problem?
No, everything's fine. It would be better if you left now.
Are you sure?
Yeah, everything's fine. I can't talk to you now.
Whatever it is that brought you here, you had better forget it and hit the road.
It had to happen sooner or
Hey,
later.
Yoko, have you lost your way? Go back to your field and pull up a few
I was
turnips.
completely alone.
That was no big deal.
Those cutthroats are threatening my husband. We are citizens of the town, loyal to the king, and the mercenaries are planning to rob us. Now don't you just stand there, do something. Help us.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
And that's the truth.
It's an open secret. These are bad times.
I need your help.
If it's absolutely necessary. What's wrong?
The farmer Akil is under attack by mercenaries.
What? Those riffraff are hanging around on Akil's farm? Then let's not waste any time. Follow me. Now watch how this works.
You're in for it now.
Wow, that hit the spot. Watch out! Give it your all! I'm gonna rip you to pieces.
That's it for you.
Thank Innos. I thought my time had run out. My name is Akil.
Not even any
gold. I farmed this humble piece of land.
Who were those people?
I think I'll take
Those
your
were
weapon.
mercenaries from Onar's farm. Those bastards don't know anything but plunder and murder. I'd been fearing the worst. Well, thank Innos it didn't come to that. Tell me, what can I do for you?
What about a few gold pieces?
I'm afraid to disappoint you. We're poor farmers. It's just enough to live on. All I can offer you is a meal. Go to Katie and let her take care of you.
Have you heard anything about missing citizens?
Don't make me laugh. Heard of them? Some of my own people are missing. Tonak and Telbor used to work on my fields until 3 days ago. And I know exactly that they wouldn't up and leave the farm just like that, and yet they've simply vanished and no one can tell me where they went. If you happen to find out what's become of them, be sure to let me know, will you?
What did the mercenaries want from you?
You don't know that? Onar, the landowner, hired them. They guard his farm and collect the rent for him. And that means they go from farm to farm and take whatever they want. And whoever can't pay gets a taste of their steel.
Baltram sent me. I'm supposed to pick up a shipment for him here.
So, you're his new messenger. Okay, I've already made up the package.
You know your way around this area?
Sure. What do you want to know?
Where can I find Onar's farm?
Just go back down the stone steps and follow the road to the east. At some point, you come to a tavern. From there, you go farther east until you come to the big fields. That's where the mercenaries hang out.
What is that tavern to the east of here?
Ask Randolph. He knows more about it than I do. He's been there a few times.
What is there in the woods behind your farm?
There's just a whole bunch of monsters back there. And the wolves are the least dangerous. A few bandits are also said to have their caves there. Well, they've left my farm alone so far.
I've gotta go.
So long. I really wish I could have done more for you.
All right, that's that. I'll be off then.
Hey, you! Everything all right?
Yes, I'm fine. That Alvarez has become bolder and bolder lately. Good thing that's over now. What I could use now is a good drop in the tavern.
You're not from around here, right?
I come from the Southern Isles. At some point they said they needed people in Khorinis because of that magic ore. But when I got there, they had this huge barrier in place, and I didn't want to go in there, so I started working in the harbor. Well, the ships stopped coming in, and so I went to work for Akil. I've had worse jobs, actually.
You hang out in the tavern?
That's right, but not recently. I cannot afford going there anymore.
What exactly is going on there in the tavern?
There's gambling there. Two fellows compete against each other. Whoever can hold the most beer wins. In the end, I did nothing but lose, and now I need to make some more money first.
Who did you go up against?
Against Rukar, that old good-for-nothing. So far, he's beaten me every time. But somehow I have the creeping suspicion that the filthy swine has laced my beer with gin every time. I suspect he keeps the gin hidden in that damn chest of his, that lousy scumbag. Somebody ought to sneak some plain water into his chest. Then he could lace my beer all he wants. If I only had enough money to compete against him one more time.
Lately, it's gotten a lot more dangers out here, and the field raiders are becoming a real plague.
Hey, you! Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Why don't you defend yourself against Onar's tyranny?
For us farmers near the city, it makes more sense to stay on the good side of the city militia than to rely on Onar's mercenaries. On the other hand, there's Bengar and Sekub who would rather give up their farms than work for the king.
Where do I find the farms of Bengar and Sekub?
They're not far from the farm where the landowner lives. Go east from here and you'll find them.
Haven't you ever considered moving away from here?
It's not easy to get away from this part of the country. All the land is walled in by a high, insurmountable chain of mountains. The only two ways out of here are the pass to the Valley of Mines and the harbor. Since we cannot afford passage on a ship, and the Valley of Mines is a place of no return, we're going to have to stay here.
What do you know about the pass?
I've never been there myself, but it must be somewhere near Bengar's farm on the high pastures.
Look out for your husband.
I shall do my best.
Hey, you! Akil says you've got a meal for me.
We've hit some hard times ever since the barrier fell and the land is no longer safe. Here's a loaf of bread, a little meat, and some water. That's all I can spare, I'm afraid.
About those stone tablets, I've got some.
Thank you. That's enough. Now I could keep my promise to the water mage in town and then go home at last. I'll pay you for them, of course. I'm going home now. Come with me if you like. Maybe I can sell you a few things that might interest you when we get there.
Look who's just turned up. The farmer boy. You're just in time.
Who are you anyway?
That's none of your business. If I wanted to tell you who I am, I'd have done it already. Got it?
What do you want from me? Are you still having problems with the city guards?
I'll give you problems, you punk. I'm looking for a fellow. He isn't anywhere to be found in the city, and these losers here don't have a clue either. He's thin, dark-haired, and he usually wears red armor. As far as I know, he used to be a prisoner in the colony. I think his name starts with a D.
Is his name maybe Dexter?
It could be that that's his name. I'm not sure. I'll probably only know when I see him.
Anything else?
Yeah, you big mouth. Is there something else? I need weapons, I need provisions, and gold wouldn't be bad either.
Gold? We all want gold.
Could be. And what would you do with it? Drink your way through it in the tavern, or blow it in the brothel if I'm any judge.
And you have a better plan, huh?
You would crawl under a rock if you knew all I've done. So none of that cheek, or I'll shut your big mouth for you.
Didn't you find a weapons dealer in the city?
You can't be serious. They only have junk.
Weapons? The mercenaries have weapons.
Ah, interesting. I heard that the fat farmer Onar had hired the boys. Not too bad for a landlubber. Not a bad idea, but I really should pay them a visit.
Provisions? You're in a tavern.
The stupid barman won't hand anything over unless you pay him for it.
Here's 10 gold coins.
You poor sucker. You can keep your dough. I have a better idea. There's a cave not far from here. I've been around here before and I buried my stuff in a few places. The cave is too dangerous for me alone. I want you to help me with it.